Good morning everyone. Yeah, another telephone. This has been with me for about an hour. Arrived in the post today. Beautifully packed. Really well packed. Handset wrapped separately and the phone wrapped. I got this basically because it seemed to be a sensible price and the model, which you notice it's one of those Pi phones. Now I have put one of these up, the earlier one. When I say the earlier one, the earlier ones did not have any provision to slide a regulator in. Okay, this one has got provision for a regulator. The regulator in this case is not used, it's blanked out, which is no problem. But everything else is the same, in very good condition, with the typical bell or ringer with the adjuster on it. You've got the set of screw contacts for the dial to be connected up to. What else have we got? Obviously got the side tone coil. This one was fitted, a very good seller actually. I got it, well, I thought, for a silly price, almost a giveaway price, so I was well pleased. You know, you've got to keep your eyes open, have your wits about you when you see these things on auction. If they're not on auction, then obviously you have to pay the price which they say if you want the actual item. So you do get the odd bargain. I'll show you, this is the same, virtually the same comments as on that last one I showed. This is a nice ivory case job. You've got a nice diagram there. And obviously the same fixing as the other one. You've got the clip at the back there, which holds the case on. The two lugs in the front of the case obviously hold the front of the case on, but you don't use these screws for screwing it on. They are simply there to hold the attachment on, which is, I showed you that one at the back there. So that's the main difference. There's nothing on the case to say what material it's been made of. I've had a good look, can't see anything. It's got a 12K, I don't know. I must admit my knowledge of the cases, what they're made of, is very limited, but it has got the number 12. Whether that's Diacon, I don't know. Someone out there will know. And the numbers displayed as all right, there's a few marks on it, but there again, after the age this is, which is probably goes back to the 60s, well, it would have gone back 60s. The terminations are as for the normal arrangements as you would use on a 706. The previous one of these phones I showed had a different layout of terminals. It was different. This is a more recent one, and that is how the terminals are. You can see they're all been nicely fitted. Someone has put the 3.3K resistor in, which reduces the impedance of the bell or the ringer. You've got an anti-click device there on the receiver. All nicely sleeved, nicely put in. I know there's some people don't really know which way round these two things are. In my case, it doesn't bother me what way round they go. But depending, I suppose, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, is which way round they go. This one would be for picking the receiver up with the left hand, and that's the way this one's been done. Anyway, have a little closer look at the dial. Now, I think the last one I showed you, the dial had a cover on it. This one does not. So you get a clear indication of what it looks like. Now, it's made by the Deutsche Fernsprecher Gesellschaft. And Fernsprecher is the German word for telephone. Distant speaker. Fern, distant, and Sprecher, obviously speaker. So it's Deutsche Fernsprecher Gesellschaft. And this dial is exactly, when I say exactly, not the front of it, but the mechanism is exactly the same as found on the Autophone. This dial is actually working as well, so there's no problem there, it's working fully well. And once again, you get an extra pulse for any digit, so you allow the wheel, this part here, to reach maximum speed under the control of the governor or the regulator. It's masked by the off normal springs there. So you dial 1 and it'll send 2 pulses out, but the first pulse will be masked by the off normal springs. I think these were quite good dials. They were based, as far as I know, on the Siemens Halski design. I think they were the first ones to bring this style of dial out. So yeah, quite a good dial. Anyway, I haven't got much more to say on this. It's mainly, I've mentioned it to show you the more updated version of this phone, which, did I give you the number? I must have given you a number now. It's a 1806 telephone, and the diagram 1806D. There's the actual diagram, which I think varies from the one I showed on the other telephone that I put up of this model. These were in fact made by Pi, and I understand, I may be wrong on this, that they were made up by E.K. Cole and Company. Well, E.K. Cole of Southend, I think it was Southend, was the Echo brand, which made radios, televisions, and a load of other electrical bits, including lamps. EKCO Echo, and they were obviously a part of that time under the Pi group, which Pi was then absorbed by Philips. Anyhow, that is more or less all I've got to say. Thanks again for watching. I'm slowly answering questions that have been given me on various videos. So yes, it'll eventually be done. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Oh, and by the way, that capacitor had been batch sampled by the GPO. It just shows you parts do get mixed about, but possibly under the manufacture of these phones, because obviously this company Pi made phones for the GPO, the real SEB 706. But all in all, these phones are fairly rare, I would say. I haven't come across many of these. This being the second one. The first one I showed you, I think I picked up years ago at a boot sale. Don't quote me on that, I may be wrong, but I think that's where it came from. These are quite rare, and there's one or two other items out there of phones which are rare, which are worth getting if they turn up at the right price. They are an investment, as I said before, probably better than putting money in the bank. So that's what I did on this case. So, yeah, thanks for putting up with my ramblings, if you like. It's got a nice new cord on it. I haven't actually tried it, but rest assured, it looks to me like that would be a first-class worker, and certainly a nice addition to the collection in the nice clear, or not clear, a nice white or ivory plastic. And as you can see, yes, it's got a bit of colouring where it's faded, but that is known in the trade as patina. You get patina, it gives you an idea of the age. Okay, it can't be rubbed out, it's left on there, it's patina, something to show the age. But if you display these phones anywhere, on a table or wherever you like, and they're near daylight, put a sheet over them to reduce the light. That should help any further discolouring of the case. And now I'm definitely going to shut up now. There's the receiver, which is the standard type, and I haven't taken the inserts out. In there you've got a red transmitter, electronic type, and you've got the normal rocking armature in there. So they've probably been updated. Well, they would obviously have been updated. That one originally would possibly have had the one I call the top hat type, but it's a modern red one. So there we are. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to shut up now, talking too long. I'm going to get myself a nice cup of tea and put this up on eBay. Thanks again for watching. Thank you.